Happy Sunday, love bugs. Excuse the voice. Okay. Sending everybody the highest vibration of love, strength, compassion for yourself and others, and abundance and prosperity in all areas of your life. Hold on. Okay, y'all know right before I come on camera, I'm always eating something most of the time. But I wanted to talk about, oh my God, my voice. Oh, y'all. Okay. I already know what that is. I wanted to talk about individuality, how important it is to be an individual. Okay, so I'll share, of course, something about myself as I always do. Story time, not really a story time, but whatever. Um, as I began um, making acquaintances on social media, right? Social media, as I was becoming more and more my true self, and I wanted to, of course, connect with people who I had more in common with on social media. It was a very beautiful experience. I started connecting a lot. Like it just, it's people who I talk to this day, and I don't remember how we connected. Honestly, real talk, because it just happened so organically. The way I just became, you know, acquainted with certain people, you know, and the majority of these people, the majority, 90% more, I don't, that's it, there were lessons to be learned on both ends, sometimes one way. There was understandings that I had to know about in terms of building a new foundation, in terms of connecting with people, okay? Because I had been used to dealing with um, family, friends a certain way for so long. So now I'm coming into this new understanding that took time to develop and really for me to really get what was going on. And this was happening over a course of time. Over this has been going on for years. So I'm very grateful for that. Now, part of me, a large part of me, wanted to. Um, you see, as I'm talking, it's clearing. I'm sounding more clear. Throat chakra, yeah. Throat chakra. I know it sounds gross. I apologize. Um, I wanted to have social circles in terms of people who were like me, like where we had maybe not, we weren't exactly the same, but we had a lot of similarities. We were spiritualists, okay? Masculine and feminine. Hold on one second. So I was looking towards these opportunities of being in these social circles. So I was at some point I was looking at women. And in essence, like, okay, am I doing enough to represent myself in the fullest way of who I truly am? You know? And then I'm looking at this is just I'm real big. I'm just being authentic with y'all. I'm just being real open, okay? Okay, I'm just being open with y'all. And then I'm looking at the men. And then I'm like, okay, am I enough? This is as I'm developing and I'm coming more into it. I'm healing the traumatic wounds within me that didn't align me with my value and my worth and my self love. So this is in the process of getting to this place. You get what I'm saying? This is now. I'm not talking about recent. Then I'm realizing, am I enough for these men? Am I enough for the men who try like the real spiritual men, the real spiritual men? Am I enough? Am I showing enough of my natural side? Am I whatever, just whatever. And then over the course of time, and it happened fast. It didn't happen like a long time. But like it got to this point where indigo, really? That is not the point. That's still some things that little bit of baggage or a lot of baggage that you're carrying over, where you're not supposed to be, you know, worried about how another person views you, where you belong or nothing, because it ties into what I've shared before. I don't know if you guys remember. If you knew, welcome. Am I good enough to be a part of other groups. And I'm talking about this is before me coming into consciousness, you know? And see, this is the thing, you guys. Consciousness is different for every individual. That's the point. We are individuals. We're not here to be built like the next person in any way. I've got my own energetic, physical, spiritual, emotional, psychological imprint, and it's just for me, period. I don't care how much someone else has in common with me. There are people who feel like, were you my sister in a different, or were you my lover in a different, were you this? Because we have so much in common. But it never came down to this. We were exactly the same. Never. It never came down to the energy of we were exactly the same. We had so much in common. There were levels to the things that I had in common with people, but it never was exactly. I am so remarkably unique. And yes. And so are you. So it's never going to be a time where you're going to look exactly like someone else. You have your own energetic, physical, spiritual, emotional, mental, psychological imprint. And only one person can be you, top tier, and that is you. It don't matter how you try to copy, how you try to mimic, how you try to be, or whether somebody tries to do that with you. There can never be anyone like you but you. And that's why a lot of us we have been catapulted in positions of teaching, of inspiring, of being an influencer, all of that to show people that they can tap into their own uniqueness as well. And it's honor. It should be an honor for all of us who are in positions like this, or will soon realize this is where I'm supposed to be. Be you. You don't have to look like, physically, think like, mentally, feel emotionally, spiritually, nothing like nobody else. You keep doing your own work and purifying yourself, and I guarantee it's going to come to a point where you won't. I never wanted to be nobody else. Never. That's true story. Even in my state of unconsciousness, I never wanted to be like nobody else. I wanted to be inspired by people. So I, at times, in those times, back like I just spoke of, I compared. Like, but in a way, not in a comparison way where it was low vibration. Like, it was low vibration in a way, don't get me wrong. But am I doing enough? Am I being enough? And it had nothing to do with that other person. It had to do with me properly doing my own work. I love you guys. Peace.